I said that I would want to stop corruption. And I'm doing it almost every day. I have fired so many government officials, about 96 of them, but hindi ko na lang I did not make it public.
Quietly, President Rodrigo Duterte assures he's getting rid of corruption-tainted officials in his administration. Most of the more than 90 officials dismissed were from regulatory agencies like the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, Land Transportation Office, and the Bureaus of Customs and Internal Revenue. President Duterte has also let go of two close friends on corruption allegations, former Interior Secretary Mike Sueno and National Irrigation Administrator head Pete Laviña. Both had argued the issues raised against them were just that, allegations, but the president stood his ground. Critics quickly pointed to Mr. Duterte's seeming inaction on the case of another appointee, actor Cesar Montano, who is Chief Operating Officer of the Tourism Promotions Board. Montano was very prominent in Duterte's campaign rallies. Last month, TPB employees filed a complaint against Montano at the Presidential Action Center, but Mr. Duterte insisted he trusts Montano. Secretary Ernesto Abella dismissed any comparison between the Montano and Sueno cases. The Civil Service Commission explains several agencies are in charge of investigating and prosecuting officials accused of graft and corruption, but the president can fire his appointees anytime.
Co-terminus or confidential yung position mo, tapos nawalan ng tiwala sa'yo yung boss mo, pwede kang tanggalin anytime. O maski hindi ka nakasuhan. Ang basis lang ay loss of confidence.
Critics and anti-corruption groups worry that Mr. Duterte's drastic campaign against erring officials lacks due process and follow-up actions.
It sends a signal na he will not tolerate. Pero ang problema nga doon, sa alam namin, wala namang due process ang nangyayari. You can easily spread the rumor and have that person fired just because may rumor or may whiff of impropriety.
Papakita lang ito, propaganda, pananakot. So it will affect our drive against corruption kasi wala naman accountability. Wala namang maliwanag na investigasyon.
The Ombudsman is tasked to investigate complaints involving acts that may be illegal, unjust, improper, or inefficient. If warranted, it can file administrative and criminal charges at the Sandigan Bayan, a special anti-graft court. In 2016, the Ombudsman said the number of cases it filed before the Sandigan Bayan increased by 267%. 1,311 cases were filed last year, 418 under the Aquino administration and 893 by the Duterte government. Top offenses were violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, malversation of public funds, violation of presidential decrees, and falsification of public documents. Administrative cases may also be filed with the Civil Service Commission. When he assumed office, Mr. Duterte activated the Presidential Action Center and the 24/7 888 hotline, where the public can air their grievances against corrupt officials. The hotline now receives more than 1,000 calls a day for queries and complaints against government agencies. Ruth Cabal, CNN Philippines.